Hello, everyone. Welcome to the astrology for the day for today on November 19th, 2019. So, something exciting is happening tomorrow. Mercury officially goes direct after being retrograde practically the whole month of November. All right, now we have about 2 days of the shadow period to deal with, and then December comes around and hopefully life gets better. So let's go ahead and see what the astrology is for today. So it looks like we're starting with the sun in the 10th house today. At the time that it is currently, there's the sun right there in Scorpio in the 10th house. And I believe it's currently like 11 a.m. where I'm at. So we're starting here with the sun in the 10th house. The sun is currently in Scorpio. So there could be some unexpected changes probably going on in the workplace. Things seem to actually be falling more into place, probably in some way, shape, or form, especially with this kind of starting the workday off. Let's go an hour ahead. Oh, let's also point out that we have the moon here in the 8th house, all right? So currently our emotions could be going through some things at the moment, all right? We may be forced to examine our emotions at this time and kind of let go of what needs to be let go of, and at the same time learn to process our emotions in a new way. All right. There's something about having moon in Leo, because the moon's currently in Leo over here. There's something about having moon in Leo in the 8th house that it's like you want to say something, but you probably know you shouldn't. All right. So let's go an hour ahead. And it looks like we still have the sun in the 10th house. So like I was saying, changes going on in our career sector. And I feel like changes with the sun being in the 8th house, because the sun deals with how people see us. It's our public perception, it's our creativity. It's how we, present ourselves. We ourselves are being seen in a different light at this current time. So really take advantage of that sun in the 10th house energy for these next 2 hours if you can, and really show and prove yourself. So if you have like a presentation or something like that, or something due, a project due in the next 2 hours, really make sure that you're taking the time to make that the best thing ever. All right. We went an hour ahead, and looks like good thing we have the moon over here moving to the 7th house of one-on-one relationships, business partnerships. So there's a big focus today on business, work, and kind of getting back into the swing of things. I don't know about you, but there's something about this Mercury retrograde that like took me out of the swing of things. But there's something about today specifically where I feel like I'm finally getting back into the swing of things, and I feel like that's that seventh house and moon energy that we're getting, but also this kind of sun in the 10th house energy that we've been focusing on for the past 2 hours this morning. Now I know the dates, like timing is different everywhere, like it's probably 11 a.m. here, but I think it's probably like 9 a.m. in California, so go with the flow. So we're going an hour ahead to about 12:55 p.m. The moon is, or did we go an hour ahead or did we go an hour behind? No, we went another hour ahead. So it looks like basically the moon, or the sun today will be transitioning most likely from the 10th house to the ninth house of travel, long distance travel, because in 3 hours it's going to be in the house, the seventh house, or I'm sorry, the ninth house of long distance travel. The ninth house is also the house of personal philosophies, beliefs, open mindedness, okay, our sense of adventure and exploration. So some of you actually may be trying different things today in terms of like food, or like even on your lunch break you may like see a new restaurant, you're like, oh, I want to go there. But there's something about where you're really going to want to try something new, because you want to take something. I feel like a lot of us want to take something from this retrograde and at least use it as a catalyst for newness once things go direct. Does that make sense? We're also having the moon transition from the 8th house, most likely. So the sun most likely will transition from the 10th house throughout this day, probably somewhere around the 3rd house, maybe. And we'll see the moon transition probably somewhere around the 12th house by the end of the day, which is going to put us through a lot of emotions throughout the day, and a lot probably will be thrown our way, but we can handle it. Let's go a couple more hours ahead. Looks like the moon is transitioning, or the sun is transitioning into the 8th house Around 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that can actually be the energy because we have Sun in Scorpio in its home sign of Scorpio. That can be the inner or its home house, the eighth house. The eighth house is ruled by Scorpio, Pluto. That could be the energy of fighting, arguments. Like the big thing I'm getting is like road traffic, like road rage. Like just be careful with that. The thing with having Sun in Scorpio is the Sun deals with the public, and when we put this in the eighth house, it's the energy of things out of our control and learning to be patient and just kind of deal. All right. We do have Moon transitioning to the sixth house of work, health, and our job. So there is something where things are taking kind of a turn in our job, a positive turn after this retrograde, energy. Things are really taking a turn. There's more connectedness, even it seems like, between you and your coworkers, or you and your family, your friends. Things just kind of seem to be meshing well, much better together. We have the Sun transitioning to the seventh house of one-on-one relationships. An hour later, we still have the Moon in the sixth house. And then we see the Moon jump from the fifth house by 3:55 p.m. The Sun is in the seventh house of one-on-one relationships. Okay. And then it looks like we have the Sun moving to the sixth house. The Moon moves to the fourth. All right. So by the time you get home from work today, there could be a lot going on with family, a lot that you have to attend to. It's like you had plans of going home, enjoying a nice cup of coffee or a drink, but you get home and your pet needs something, your mom and dad need something, your roommates, got rushed to the hospital or something like that because they got in a fight, or your child is like begging for your attention. It's like you just have to attend to certain things. You have to deal with the public and get on with it. It's gonna go a couple hours ahead, and by the end of the day today, it looks like we end the day with the Sun, Vertex, Venus, and Jupiter all in the fourth house. All right, a family, home, love, relationships. So there's a lot of energy going on in the home. A lot of us could be going through transitions in the home in some way, shape, or form. Maybe we're moving. That could be a possibility with Jupiter in the fourth house, or some of us could be going through transitions even in the home community area, maybe reconstruction. Once again, there's an element here out of your control, and you're just having to kind of work around it, I feel. We also end the day with the Moon, as I predicted, being in the Moon in Leo, however, being in the 12th house of our private affairs, hidden strengths and weaknesses, illusions and confusions, all right, and that kind of energy. So by the end of the day, it's like we're gonna want to be alone. Oh, it's been a long day, man, there was a lot thrown at me, but it's like we're still gonna want to party. Like we're still with that Moon and Leo energy in the 12th house, we're still gonna want to relate to people, because with the Moon and Leo, our emotions are burning through our perceptions, if that makes sense, right? So the perception may be that I need to spend this time alone. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. But with that Leo energy, you're going to want to burn through it, and you're going to want to relate to people. You're still going to want to express yourself. You're still, like, Leo just gives you energy, all right? It comes with the territory. So thank you for enjoying and watching this transit for today. I don't want to be in front of you for too long. If you would like a birth chart reading from me, a transit reading from me, I do these types of transit readings. I have a monthly subscription service where you pay a monthly fee and you get a reading just like this. Not totally like this, but like pretty similar, except you'll just be seeing this and not like my face in this kind of thing. But all the things, it's all on my website, all right, how I do these actual readings professionally for you all. But this is just a little taste. So if you'd be interested in a reading from me, whether it's a psychic reading, a birth chart reading, or more, check out my website, Lamarr, Townsend, You can also call me or text me at 703-791-9162. Make sure you like this page. Follow my page and check out my social media on YouTube, and my Anchor podcast, and my book on Amazon, and so much more, and my singles on iTunes and Spotify. Love and light. God bless and no stress. Have a great day.